This is video 70 of 101. This video is about gender roles. Biologically, it takes one male and one female to create one human being. Beyond that, gender is completely irrelevant because we are such unique and complex beings that we should be able to embrace whichever traits we want that make us feel ourselves. A woman should be able to wear no makeup, loose clothing, and enjoy sports and not be questioned. A man should be able to wear makeup, skirts, and care for children and not be questioned. Why should any of these people be made to feel less of a person just because they're doing the things that they love? I grew up with zero gender roles. My mom laid the flooring in our basement, never wore a stitch of makeup, and my dad loved fine clothing, colorful silk ties, wine, and cooking. But both of them were kick-ass, hardworking people, and they never questioned what kind of toys I was playing with, whether that was Bugs or Legos or Polly Pockets or anything that I was doing. It was never questioned because I was just allowed to be whoever I was, no matter what those traits were, just as they were allowed to be whoever they were, no matter what those traits were, because they were just so themselves that it didn't matter what these traits were considered in terms of masculinity and femininity. They were just them, and that was what worked. I started to love fashion because I loved the colors and the textures and the fact that you could put something on and become a new person. And I found that a lot of people really liked this model personality, and so I really stuck with that. And now looking back, it was probably because I was just really looking for attention. I wanted to feel special, but that's not who I really was. When I look back in the times in my life when I was really busy with other things, like as I was going through that whole change in my life when I was 16, and then also going into college when I was focused on a business and I was focused on school, my look, my appearance wasn't my most important thing. I wanted to be presentable, but I slowly stopped caring about putting together these outfits and I just wanted to get into the world and do things. I wasn't worried about what I look like. I was worried about how I could do things or like what my abilities were. And nowadays I find that all I want to do is just be anonymous and not have people question who I am. And I'm so blessed that I live in a city where people don't care at all. You can be exactly who you are and nobody's going to question that. And that's not why I moved here, but it's definitely one of the reasons that's kept me here for sure. This is the kind of thing I hope for the future of all communities, where that every single person can be exactly who they are. They don't have to leave out any different parts or traits of themselves because it's not within their gender. Everybody should be allowed to do everything that makes them feel true to themselves, no matter what gender roles those things fall under. I think we just need to completely get rid of these gender roles, gender categories. They're irrelevant, and they're stripping us away of parts of who we are. Half of who I am is considered masculine. I love sports and being active in technology and fixing and making things that are masculine. And in terms of feminine things, there's not a whole lot of things that I like. I mean, I love caring for children. I have that very maternal thing. That's about it. Like, looking around here, I can't think of anything else in my life. I mean, maybe caring for my home and myself could be considered feminine, but that's ridiculous because everyone should care for their home and themselves, no matter what your gender is. You know, it was really hard because I love men in the sense that when I'm with them, I feel much more true to myself than when I'm hanging around with women. Because when I was in high school and I was dressing up and all these things, all I really wanted to do was run around and be ridiculous. I saw all these guys just doing their stupid things and like, I wish I could just forget about who I was and just be that and be reckless and stupid. That was what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't even think about that because I didn't even know what those thoughts were at that time. And now beyond having these boxes, there's actually one of these boxes is being suppressed significantly, and that is the feminine box. And this is why we have feminism, because feminism is simply just to bring up the feminine quality to the same level as where the masculine quality is, so we can finally have equality. The wage gap is real, rape culture is real, slut shaming is real. Why do we have these things suppressing who a woman is supposed to be? Why do we have these ideas of what a woman is supposed to be and then holding every single person to this role? Everybody is so unique. And you know, the thing is that feminism is for men too. It's so that men can cry and not be made to feel weak, so that they can hug and tell their friends that they love them without having to say no homo at the end. We should be able to express every single part of who we are, and no way should we be suppressing this feminine quality. So that's feminism for you guys, okay? It's not about women taking over and ruling. I mean, we totally would if we could, but that's not what this is about. Masculinity is right here and femininity is right here. And feminism is the box that's going to bring femininity back up so we have equality. Equality is the goal of feminism, but it's called feminism because it's the feminine quality that we're focusing on to bring up. If we're focused on masculinity, that's irrelevant because masculinity is already up here, femininity is down here. So I'm gonna say it again. See how there's a gap here? See the difference? See how this hand's down here and this hand's up here? So we want to bring this hand up here. See how only this one changes to get it to equality? So the goal of feminism is equality. I hope that makes sense. I want a world where nobody has to be put down for any parts of their being. So how do we get there? Well, the first thing you can do is be 100% yourself. Every single quality that you have ever wanted to have, that you've ever felt that you may be put down for or made fun of for, you need to embrace all of these qualities. And it may be hard at first because you may be living in a place where you're made to feel put down for these kind of things. But then we need to be so confident in who we are that we become warriors. We become self-warriors. We defend ourselves. And if someone comes to me and says, "Why are you doing this thing? You're a girl," I can say, well, why does that make you uncomfortable? We need to realize that anybody attacking these qualities is that there's something going on with them. We are totally fine. As long as we're 100% ourselves and we're not hurting anybody or anything, we are allowed and we are totally valid to be 100% ourselves with whatever qualities we have. And this person coming and attacking us, this is the problem. So these are the things we need to do. Here's an example. Ew, you should really shave your armpits. Why? Because it's gross. But you have armpit hair. Yeah, but you're a girl. But why does my gender need to dictate my arm care? I think the real issue here is that you have an issue with it. I didn't put it here, it just grew. So why does the human body bother you so much? And hopefully we can get to a point where they say something like, you know what, I don't know why it bothers me, and then they become introspective and try and figure out why it bothers them. And most likely it's because that they tried to be themselves and somebody else suppressed them, and so they're hurt. And hurt people hurt people. This is not rude in any way. I remember when I went to the drugstore because I wanted to buy bleach so I could bleach my armpits and dye them pink because I thought that was really fun. And the lady there was like, "You're growing out your armpits?" And I said, "Of course, what's wrong with that?" And she said, "Oh no, you can't be doing that." And she was so like distraught about it. And I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I'm a person who has body hair that grows. There is nothing wrong with me letting that grow. It's not dirty or gross. I'm still a clean person. Men have body hair and they are still clean people. So why is it that I'm made to feel shamed for having armpit hair when it's simply something that grows on my body completely naturally? And if this is something that bothers you, why does it bother you? You can't say it's gross, because if you're a man, you probably have armpit hair too. So if it's not gross for you, why is it gross for me? And if you're gonna say because I'm a girl, there's an issue there. And that issue is you having the issue. So why do you have an issue with that? Why do you have an issue with a girl letting her body hair grow? Because it's not attractive? I'm not here to attract you. I'm here to educate people and change the world. Sorry if I don't attract you, go ahead, and there's a lot of other attractive people out there. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not my purpose, that's not my intention. So don't hold me to that ideal, because that's not me, and that's not fair. The issue that you're having is your issue. This isn't rude, this is questioning, and these kind of questions and calling people out for these things are going to show them that these kind of statements are not okay. They are not acceptable anymore, especially in 2016. Why do we feel so inadequate with ourselves that we feel the need to attack other people? We need to go back and think about all the shitty things that were ever said to us and know that all those shitty things were only said because those people felt shitty about themselves. So at the end of it, just know that every single part of you is completely valid. Anyone who questions this based on your gender is hurt. And these people, we need to educate them, we need to tell them that they are okay to be whoever they are as well. And then we can just all accept each other for who we are. And nobody has to feel shamed. Nobody has to feel inadequate. and I think we will find that we end up in a really beautiful place.